Hi guys and welcome back to my F1 driver career mode, and today for part 10 after summer break we are in Monza and the weather is looking quite good and we have a front downforce upgrade and a durability upgrade. Obviously we failed two of our upgrades, but that doesn't matter, so we are the best midfield car. So guys, let's get into the qualifying and see what we can do.
The temple of speed and the pilgrims have come to worship. It's all about the speed today. Qualifying awaits us. Welcome to Monza for the Italian Grand Prix.
So for the first lap in Q1 we are just taking through Parabolica, just going to end this lap dumping all the battery. So it's going to be 123.1. we are right now P9. Not a good lap. Obviously we have a little bit of a wear engine. So for the final lap in Q2 we are going to go out now. We have people behind us who are a little too close for comfort, but they have come into the pit. So starting our final lap for Q1, we are half a tenth already down. So into braking for turn 1 we haven't been able to gain, but on the exit of turn 1 we have gained our 10th and now almost 2 tenths here. So can we still be able to gain enough so that we can go into Q2? So with a almost 8 tenths gain and already 8 tenths gain, going through Parabolica, going on to the grass, losing a little bit of time, but now gaining 8.5 tenths. Can we do something here? And we are P8 with an 8.5 tenths. So that should be enough guys, I think. So let's skip past the time and I do think this will be enough. So still I did think it was enough, but for Q1 starting and we ended another run with a new set of soft tires. So with a 1.5 tenth gain in P11, let's see where we end up now. It's P10. So we are successfully into Q1 and our teammate, well, he is out. Oh my goodness, he was in P16, so it was just too close, but that sometimes happens. So in Q2 again, ending a first lap in Q2. Obviously didn't want to show you guys too much because it's just a waste of time. So you can see another lap here. So through Parabolica straight to the line, and it's P2 guys. It's 121.7. I don't think I have to go again. That was an amazing lap. Only Oscar Piastri is the one who actually did something better than us. So we have skipped past the time and let's see if we have maintained. Yes, we have. We are in P3. George Russell and Charles Leclerc and even Carlos Sainz is out in Q2. And look at that guys. We have only one set of softs remaining, one new set. So we waited a couple of minutes so that people did their first run. So now we are out for our final, well, one and only lap in Q3. Just taking it easy into turn 1 for the braking. A little early brake, going on to the curve, a little bit unsettling the car. And after the turn 1, going on to the grass a little bit, but it's still, I think, will be good enough for at least, well, we want at least P8 or P9. That's what we have been done. But we have a purple first sector. A purple first sector. So that, I think, says a lot about. And Oscar Piastri has already done a 120.8. Obviously, you guys know. And Fernando Alonso in his Aston Martin has done better time than Oscar Piastri. So we have taken both the Lesmos there. Obviously, we just want to do this run as clear as possible. Obviously, doing a lot of practice for this. So Sergio Perez has done, and Lewis Hamilton has also done a fast lap. So Lewis Hamilton is on provisional pole. Gasly in P6, Oscar Piastri P7. We are right now just going through the last corner of Parabolica, braking now, trying to put power as early as we can, but we haven't been able to do that. So we go a little bit right there, but let's see, run to the line. We are P4. We are P4, only 300s behind Lando Norris. Obviously we didn't have another tire, so we are in P4 with a Haas. We are in P4 with our R. So guys, let's just get into the race and you see if we can challenge for podium.
Alboreto in tribute to the Italian motorsport legend Michele Alboreto. It's a long right-hander. It dares you to keep your foot as far down on the throttle as you possibly can. It's one of the great corners on the calendar, and we're here at Monza ahead of the Italian Grand Prix. We're 12 miles northeast of Milan for today's Grand Prix at a Monza circuit where we can expect top speeds of around 215 miles per hour. 11 corners on this 3.6 mile track, with 7 of those coming in the form of chicanes. And with a good slipstream and DRS open, there should be plenty of opportunity for some passing here today. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Ali, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Gasly, Oscar Piastri, Bottas, Stroll, Leclerc, Albon, Sainz, Tsunoda, Magnussen, Ricciardo, Ocon, Joe, Sargent, and George Russell ends our grid lineup. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me here today in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. Now you'll remember back from your racing days, Ant, working with the team and getting to know them is oh so important. That's what this driver's going through at the moment. And I think one thing we are seeing with this driver at the moment is that they're very much embedded within the team. They know the team knows them, and it's working wonderfully. Now, I'll be generous here. It's not that long ago that you were racing and entertaining us on a Sunday. But in the years since, the sport has changed quite a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has, Crofty. You know, the cars have got bigger, they're heavier, but critically, there's more downforce to play with as well now. There was around 4 tons of downforce on the car at 300 kilometres an hour when I drove. You're now looking more towards 5 tons of downforce. So there's a big difference in performance. But because of that, the car being heavier and bigger, you've got to drive in a smoother way. You've got to look after it a bit more. You've got to nurse it through the slow speed corners more. They were much more nimble, agile machines when I drove in Formula 1 compared to now.
So Lewis Hamilton is on pole. That's, I think, a good news for them. And we obviously, the Ferrari's engine is behind us. So it's a home Grand Prix for the Ferrari manufacturer. So guys, let's just get into the race with 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we are going for the Italian GP here with Max Verstappen starting P4. We have already overtaken Lando Norris and Max Verstappen. We are in P2. Hamilton in P1. He has started from pole and maintained his position. Alonso, Gasly and Perez going 3 right there now. And Piastri, Max Verstappen and Perez just going side by side for 3 right there. And Lando Norris just going side by side with Gasly. Obviously, he still has a better car, so I think he will be able to overtake him. And Fernando Alonso in P3. Max Verstappen got a really bad start there and he went from P3 to P7. So we are maintaining our position in P2 here. Obviously we know it's not going to be easy to maintain this position, but obviously we want to do something. And as you guys know, Gasly is our championship rival right now, so we have to finish this race in front of him. So taking the Ascari chicane a little bit weird there, obviously a little too excited right now. We are in P2 and at the end of lap 2, at the start of lap 2 into turn 1, Alonso has overtaken us. Obviously it's a matter of time when these guys try to overtake us, and we have at least maintained our position in P2 right now, but Fernando Alonso will not let it go. In P2 for lap 3, Fernando Alonso will try to overtake us into turn 4. We go a little bit too much on the curb and settles the car, and because of that Fernando Alonso is now just behind us going through the Lesmo 1. Can we just maintain this position? Fernando Alonso is just behind us. He will obviously get DRS, and we won't get DRS because Hamilton has broken DRS to us with a 1.9 second. Fernando Alonso with the help of DRS has overtaken us, and Norris also tried to overtake us, but we have maintained our position in front of Norris at least, and we are now in P3 for the last podium position. Can we guys get a podium in this race? Obviously it will be really difficult to do that, but we will try to give everything here to get that podium. So starting the lap 4 here for every one of us, we will get DRS. But look at that, guys, Landon Norris already has such a better start, better exit and better pace than us, but we will maintain our position into braking. Obviously our braking is a little bit better than these guys, so we have maintained this position. But our problem is we have a little bit of problem in our engine. But look at that, guys, Sainz and Charles Leclerc in P12 and P14. I don't know what has happened to them, but Max Verstappen into turn 4 has overtaken Piastri. That was a weird overtake for him, obviously. And we have an objective, guys. We have an objective to overtake Fernando Alonso, which I think is almost impossible, because look at that, guys. Fernando Alonso is just making the gap bigger and bigger in front of us, and only in 5 laps Fernando Alonso has done 1.5 seconds in front of us the gap, and Hamilton's gap is 3.2 seconds. So it's not that easy to catch up to these guys. Obviously I'm pushing 100%. Look at that, our battery is now only 30%, and we do a little bit of a DRS chicken there with Lando Norris, and because of that we are now behind Lando Norris, but we will get DRS on this lap. We go a little bit wide there, obviously doesn't really hurt us too much, but with the help of DRS, obviously we are not using battery here. A little bit of a one tire right now, obviously their temps a little bit too high. But into turn 1 we have overtaken Lando Norris. Obviously our engine isn't looking really good, but obviously this is the newer engine, guys. This isn't the non-engine. Into lap 6 Lando Norris obviously tried to overtake us but wasn't able to do so. We have still maintaining our position in P3, and because there's so much attacks by the McLaren of Lando Norris, we have lost a lot of time to Fernando Alonso. And look at that, guys, we are again played a little bit of a DRS chicken there, and because of that we are now again behind Lando Norris. But obviously we will get DRS. We are not using our battery here, because obviously we do not want to use too much battery, because Monza is a little bit difficult to save battery. But look at this, guys, into turn 1 for lap 7 we haven't been able to overtake Lando Norris. Lando Norris obviously was able to do better, and look at that, guys, Piastri and Perez still fighting there, and Max Verstappen, if you see, in P20 has already pit. So he is going to do an amazing undercut on everyone in front of us and everyone behind us, and also on us too. So into lap 13 we get a little bit of a wheel spin there, and we decided I think it's time to come into the pits. The tires are a little bit done here, so into the pits. Obviously we have a weird objective to not go out of the track for 2 seconds, so that can be done easily. But into the pits with an optimal turn in. Lando Norris is also into the pits, so can we jump it with a 2.5 pit stop? Almost, guys, just a tenth or two faster on the pit stop we would have been able to jump Lando Norris, but we haven't been able to jump him. But we can still maintain our position behind him into the DRS of Lando Norris if we can. And into turn 1 after the overtake, after the pit stop, we have overtaken Lando Norris. And I don't know how where this pace has come from. We are just it doesn't matter obviously where this pace has come from. We are just maintaining our position, and we are living our life in this P8 right now. Obviously it will be P3 again with Fernando Alonso. And guys, look at that, Fernando Alonso has already jumped Hamilton there, and he is now in P1. What has happened there? Fernando Alonso was able to jump Hamilton there. Obviously he must have had a really bad pit stop, but it doesn't matter to us, but because we are right now trying to fight with Lando Norris. Lando Norris obviously had DRS there but wasn't able to do much, and obviously a little bit of a weird way to take Ascari. Obviously the tires a little bit cold right now, these hard tires. It takes a little bit of a time to heat up these tires, so again playing the DRS chicken. But I think we have slowed down a little too much, and because of that Lando Norris has overtaken us and made a gap of 7 tenths. So I think it might be a little bit difficult. Obviously we have completed our objective, which obviously wasn't really too big of an objective. So Perez and Piastri into the pits. Verstappen has already done a really good thing here. He went a little too early on his pit stop, but was able to now undercut the people behind us, which is Piastri and Sergio Perez. Obviously Charles Leclerc in P5 hasn't pitted, so I think he will go down. And look at that, guys, on lap 17 Max Verstappen is already on the back of us, and with the help of DRS we can't do anything. Max Verstappen obviously in a much superior Red Bull than Lando Norris's McLaren, so he has been able to overtake us. We can't actually do anything. Obviously we have been able to keep up with Lando Norris. I don't know how that's happening, but Max Verstappen is obviously in his league, very different league than everyone behind or in front of us. So Max Verstappen, obviously with a much older tire than Lando Norris, is trying to overtake us. He's just on the back, hounding Lando Norris with crazy level of pressure. But now with the help of DRS, Max Verstappen will going from the inside for the Scarish again, will be able to overtake Lando Norris, and into braking, Lando Norris has been overtaken by Max Verstappen. Obviously Max Verstappen really had to put up a little bit of a fight there, because Lando Norris wasn't really interested in fighting Max Verstappen, so it was an easy overtake. But at the end of lap 18 we are still trying to keep up with Lando Norris, because obviously we have lost. And look at that, there's lap 21. Max Verstappen is trying to overtake Hamilton. Hamilton obviously flying high in P2 with his Mercedes, and 2021 must be flashing before both of their eyes, so they do not want to put too much pressure on each other and crash out of the race. Obviously we wouldn't mind that, because both of their DNF, which will mean we will go on to the podium, but it won't happen because Max Verstappen with the help of DRS has overtaken Hamilton. Hamilton obviously do not have that much faster Mercedes now from 2021. He is now in 2024, and look at that, guys, lap 23 we are still behind Lando Norris. And look at that, guys, Max Verstappen lap 23 again, the same place he overtook Hamilton. He hasn't been able to overtake Fernando Alonso, and he is still hounding Fernando Alonso like crazy. And look at that, guys, Max Verstappen without any DRS tries to overtake Fernando Alonso, and Max Verstappen into braking for Parabolica has already overtaken Fernando Alonso. And look at that, guys, Fernando Alonso will obviously get DRS here, but it won't be a little bit of a futile effort, because look at that, guys, from the last corner Max Verstappen has won the Italian GP with 7 seconds to Fernando Alonso. Obviously he had a really he was in starting the race in P3, ended up in P7 only after his mistake in the start, but has recovered to P1 with a 7 seconds lead, and we are here trying to maintain our position behind Lando Norris, because we have been pushing for the final lap, but we haven't been able to overtake Lando Norris. Lando Norris rounding out the last corner here, and Lando Norris will end his race in P4, and we are just trying to push him, but we weren't able to overtake him for P4. Obviously it's still a really amazing done race for us, because we are P8 and P9 with a best race. So guys, it's a really good result for us, and let's see the podium celebrations.
We'll see you for the next one.
It's a really bad race for us as a team, because Kevin Magnussen is out of the race, and obviously Max Verstappen won this race. Fernando P2, I don't know how was able to make this and go into P5. And guys, look at that. Because of that, we have now a 3-point lead to our championship rival Pierre Gasly. And because of that, guys, look at that. Experience, racecraft, awareness, everything has increased a lot here. So guys, if you're enjoying these videos, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you for the next one.